Welcome back to Jim Snedeker Music. Today, what we want to do is talk about how to learn a song by heart. This is something that I've been spending a lot of time doing it recently. If you're like me, you play live, and one of the things that is always impressive is when you see an artist do their performance with no chord sheets, no lyrics. It's just a great thing. And what we're going to do today is look at some steps and how to increase our ability to do that. So the first one I want to talk about is familiarizing yourself with a song. And this could be as simple as just listening to it. Apple Music or Spotify are good tools for that. One of the things that you want to do, though, as you begin listening is try to figure out, how long is it going to take me to learn this song? Is it a harder song or an easier song? You'll want to find the lyrics online as well. This used to be painful when you had to pick up a needle on an LP and move it back to the beginning. It took forever to get some words down, but I'm thankful today for the internet. That's no longer how things work. We can do that fairly quickly. But as you get those lyrics down, another thing you may want to look at is the meaning of the song. I find that as much as I can understand about the meaning of the song, what was going through the writer's mind when they wrote it, maybe the story behind the lyrics, the better I'm able to learn the song, and it also affects my performance. I'm much more sincere about it. So you may want to summarize the song's meaning as well, and there's a couple great websites for that. They're going to be in the article that goes along with this video. Songfacts.com and songmeanings.com are two sites. But again, those are all things that will help us familiarize ourselves with this. So step 2, the next thing we're going to want to do with this song in order to learn it by heart is to break down the song into some sections. And by that I mean you'll want to map out the verse, the chorus, the bridge, any other special sections. Maybe there's a lead solo if you're in a band. It's always good to do that separate, because when you break things into smaller chunks, from other things you've tried to learn, it just makes it easier to learn. Then we're going to start actually some of the mechanics of the song, like I would suggest singing without the words, trying to sing the melody. And the idea there is just to make sure you've got the notes. If you need to, slow it down if it's too fast. Then, once you complete that, go ahead and try singing with the words. That's a lot harder. Now you have to check that tempo too. Are you accenting the right word? Those things help us break the song down into sections. So again, as we learn something by heart, when you break it down into smaller pieces, it's easier to learn. The next part to this, step 3, would be adding your instrument. If you play an instrument like guitar or the piano, listen again to that recording, but this time be listening for the chords, the accents, the rhythm, the tempo, how things occur in patterns. Again, think in sections. Do one section at a time. After you're done listening, it'd be a good idea to find the chords online. There's a couple good websites for this. ultimateguitar.com is good if you're a guitar player. But one thing I would caution is be ready to correct those chord charts too. They're not always right. And it's just something, as you listen more, you'll pick that out. And then back like we were doing before, we want to learn each section separately. And you want to practice from the map of your song. And you'll find out that as you learn each section, it'll start to come together. You'll be able mentally to map the sections together as the chords repeat. Again, many of these things I've had to research for the best way to do them, because I need to improve this skill myself. Okay, section 4, the last major step of how to learn a song by heart would have to include memorizing the song. And there are some memory aids that can really help. Flashcards, or you could simply write out the first phrase, say the first line in a verse, just to cue that memory. Some people are artistic. They could draw pictures. Maybe that's an easier way for you to remember, again, just to give your mind cues on how to learn the lyrics. Now this next, after you've practiced that, the next step, of course, would be to remove those memory aids and, of course, face that moment of truth. How much of the song now can you play and sing without looking? That's a real test, but it's important to be able to do that in order to say you've learned something by heart. And then another thing you can do is sing along with the recording. Sometimes that's not possible if you've had to transpose it or use a capo or do something different, but it really can help you if you can sing along with that song's recording. And again, you're going to want to then, after you've sung with the recording, perhaps the last thing to do, and most obvious, is sing it without the recording. This is really the last step. You don't want to rush it. You want to try to keep in mind all the tools you've used to get this far. And that's really your goal, to be able to learn the song, having done all the prerequisites to get to this point. It can take time. It can go slow. I know for me, I'm always in a hurry to just get the song learned. But if I take the time to go through the steps as I'm learning, it really does make a big difference. So if you've made it this far and listened to me talk this long and kept track of the steps, congratulations, you've done it. You've learned a song by heart.